Sorry about that, babe.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Bits and Glory unboxing. This time we're going to be taking a look at Kingsfield, the Ancient City, aka Kingsfield 4, on the PS2. I recently played through this game on my channel, so if you want to see that, check out the pinned comment or description below. Obviously, review will be coming out probably a day or two after this as well. And we'll also take a quick look at the strategy guide from Prima. But first, let's focus on the game at hand. Here we go. Pretty good shape, except this. It's one of those, that happens once in a while, like indents there. But anyway, I picked this up at a video game convention some years ago. I believe for about like 50 or 60 bucks, which is pretty good because it's more than double that now. Which is crazy. This market is nuts, guys. Alright, let's read the back here. The idol must be returned. An accursed idol responsible for the destruction of an ancient race has resurfaced to wreak havoc once again among the kingdoms of man. You must return the idol to the ancient city to break its curse, but monsters of unspeakable horror haunt the ruins. There's a palpable fear in the air of the ancient city. Even the monsters themselves fear the evil that has returned. Treasures beyond the imagination await the warrior bold enough to attempt the journey, strong enough to face the minions of death, and wise enough to follow the path that leads to the essence of light. Use your sword arm well to rid the land of a potent curse. Be aware that should the sword fail, you have the magical arts to serve you in your quest. Learn the proper time and place for each, or you too shall be counted amongst those lost forever. First-person exploration RPG that immerses you into the 3D rendered world of Kingsfield with an all-new story and incredible graphics. More than 40 areas of non-linear exploration where you seek upgrades for your weapons and armor, as well as components for magic spells. Unlock the art of using powerful spells, discover items long forgotten in secret areas, and learn valuable knowledge from the characters you meet. More than 100 unique monsters and villains, each with their own arsenal of attacks and defenses, ready to claim their next victim. A plethora of weapons, armor, rings, and more await your discovery and use. Obviously FromSoftware, published by Agetec. Here we go, looking at the inside here. I played this playthrough on real hardware, no emulator. Disc is in pretty good shape. Ooh, look at that, there I am. And obviously, I hate buying games that aren't complete unless there's literally no option to. So we have the manual here. Seen a little bit of use. We got some ads for other FromSoft games, which I do plan on getting to for the channel, especially Eternal Ring once again. I reviewed it years ago. It's actually got like over 5,000 views, which is pretty good for my channel. But I have never played Forever Kingdom or Evergrace, so we're definitely going to get to those at some point. I'm not going to read everything in here, guys, as always. I could be here forever, but take a look here. Opening cutscene. Setting up the PS2 and basic operations for the controller. You have more about the story and the history here. It's actually pretty cool. The official website, which isn't up anymore, but you could look at it through like the Wayback Machine, I believe covers all this as well. Or you could just find a PDF or pause the screen if you wish. But pretty cool. Looks like we're going over some of the areas and things here from the beginning of the game. Rock of Life is something involved in 2 separate side quests towards the beginning. Going over the different characters. King Lucian IV, Septiago the Swordmaster, Prince Devian, that's you. Unknown Visitor, I'm assuming that's the shrouded person with the idol, yep. All stuff that you see basically in the opening cutscene. And here we are going over this, the game screen HUD, and this is actually interesting. So I didn't really use the maps during my playthrough, and I complained about them. So it turns out I was probably doing something wrong, because I don't even ever remember seeing a 3D map. So that's on me, and I apologize, but I didn't get too lost in the game, so it wasn't that big of a deal. Got some menu screens, loading and saving. Pretty spooky. I don't remember this being in the game. Was there an area where there were both scorpions and ghost enemies? I don't think that's accurate. I could be wrong though. I don't know. Going over the main menu. items, magic, and equipment. Again, these things I'll cover a little bit more in depth in my review, of course, but just want you to have a look at the game. Journal, where they kind of record things, you talking to NPCs and whatnot. That actually first came about in Kingsfield 3, if I remember correctly. Arranging stuff, obviously loading and managing. Configuring your inputs. Going over things in the game, obviously traps, secret doors, ladders, and lifts, which there actually aren't too many of those. It's funny that that's the second thing that they show you. Underwater exploration actually is in the game, and it's really interesting, but it's not in the game that much either. Buying and selling, of course, is going to be a big part. You go into merchants. The magic system from Kingsfield 2 more or less is back, where you consume the crystals and you learn spells, which I greatly prefer. And these are obviously nowhere near all the weapons, items, and creatures. A pretty good starting point. And hey, we're going to be looking at that. And we still got the registration card, which people coom over. But overall, it's in pretty good shape. Not the best shape game I have, but you know what? For the price that I got it, especially what it is now. Alright, let's take a quick look here at the Prima strategy guide. I'm just going to hold it on the ground. We're just going to do our usual flip through. This one has seen better days, of course. It's a pretty good intensive strategy guide. You get your bestiary here. Going through various enemies and bosses and stuff in the game, of course. Also pretty intensive and comprehensive for all the weapons in the game. There's a lot of them. As well as the armor, the shields, the rings, the equipment, all that kind of stuff you see here. Going over the magic. Talking about leveling up your weapons, which is something that I didn't really actively do much in this game, but it's okay. The beginning here is basically kind of just going over the gist of combat and, you know, getting used to the game and whatnot, and then once the black and white sections start, they give you pretty detailed mini-maps, which is pretty cool. I probably should have used those more, but I didn't really understand where I was going in the game, so I didn't want to be like, oh, am I flipping back here, this, that, and the other. And then the main strategy guide section starts here. And like I said, it's pretty easy to follow along, pretty comprehensive. I didn't really read it too much when I was playing, because, you know, the playthrough can get kind of boring if I'm looking down every 3 seconds and reading out loud, but did a pretty good job of writing me when I was wrong at some point. And in the back, we have some more charts regarding weapons and armor. Looks like this is, yeah, more detailed stuff about the enemies, what they're weak to. You got Armored Core 2, another age, which I have, but I want to play through Armored Core 1 before I do any of that stuff. There you go, there's the back. So all in all, pretty cool, pretty comprehensive. Very, very happy to have this stuff in my collection. Like I said, if you want to watch my playthrough, I'll link it in the pinned comment, description below, possibly the end screen here as well. And my review will be coming out in a day or two, and everything will be bundled tidily together in a Kingsfield 4 playlist. And in case you're wondering about more Kingsfield content, I've covered 1, 2, and 3, so you can check around on my channel for that, or maybe in the pinned comment description, who knows. Anyways, thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.